as Child Protection Week draws to an end, we continue to highlight the scourge of violence against children here in South Africa and how to better protect children against societal ills and violence. For this discussion, let's now welcome Briede, the Director of Programs at Save the Children South Africa, alongside Dumisile, Cele, who's the Chief Executive Officer at Childline South Africa. Ladies, what a great pleasure. Welcome to the both of you. So I would like us to specifically focus on the importance of active as well as present parenting, especially in the South African household context, right? Where we have to consider the multiple socio-economic challenges as well as family dynamics and structural backgrounds, and appreciate that not all kids have the same options or similar options of present, let alone any parents to guide them through life. Megan, how do we ensure active parenting while navigating our personal adulthood?
Oh, that's such a challenging question. I think, the most important thing with active parenting is helping equip parents with the right skills to plan and navigate their relationships with their children. So the open communication that's needed, being able to map for your children the challenges and difficulties that they can face. And that open communication is your step to their protection, where they feel able to alert you as soon as they are not comfortable or they feel uncertain or at risk. Of course, the bigger challenge is having the safe spaces for children, because we know that parents have to work. And we need to be investing in our country, in these spaces where children can be safe.
Megan, we talk about this story at the back of that very informative and concerning interview there, where an 18-year-old student was actually abducted by people that were purporting to be police officers. So maybe, Dumisile, you can also pitch in there on my previous question, but I also want to know from your professional perspective then, what you witness on a daily basis when working through some child-related matters. Let's look at the matter of Childline, for example. She lived in dire conditions. There were willing parents that actually wanted to adopt alongside social welfare interventions, yet we saw what happened at the end of that story. So you just cannot be too careful or too involved sometimes.
It is really difficult times that we live in, and families are under a lot of strain themselves. And when we look at the incident of Childline in Cape Town, again, the spotlight is shown on issues around parenting, support for parents. And I think we also need to acknowledge that not all parents have the capacity that is required to look after their children. And that is where institutions like ourselves and other government organizations have to step in to support those children and ensure their safety. But what is worrying, particularly the case that has just been shown to us of the young chap that was allegedly abducted, is the fact that it feels as if in some instances a parent or a community might be doing the right thing, but somehow the acts of criminality seem to be ahead of us. Because in this instance, the young boy was with a safe adult, they were going, and it seems all the right thing was done, but only to find that it was actually criminality that was behind all that we are seeing before us. So I really think we cannot just look at the care and protection of children vested in one area. It is the family, it is the community. We all have to work together, because no one can really ensure the protection of our children in their own space. Everyone has to pitch in here.
Absolutely, Dumisile. I mean, that also brings back that memory of a boy who was also dropped off right inside his residential place, and he actually died inside the premises, a story that we're focusing on just the last month. So how do you then advise parents that whether directly or indirectly a parent via school teachers as well as guardians and have completely lost control and their parent-child relationship, and those who only feel financial contribution is the only participation and interaction that they should have with their children? We call them ATM parents. Dumisile, I'm sure you are familiar with this term. So this mindset certainly needs to change also, especially those who are in co-parenting relationships.
It certainly has to change because we have to put our children at the center. And we really have to let go of our issues as parents the center and really think seriously in terms of what do we see for them moving forward, because we cannot only think about their future if we are not acting appropriately in the present, because they are growing here and now in front of us, and we must make sure we are providing an environment that is conducive and supportive of their growth. Mm-hmm. And if as parents we feel we are not able or we don't know what to do to ensure that support, we must seek help. There is help available out there, and it is important that we seek that support to be able to raise our children properly.
Mm-hmm. Megan, welcome back. Maybe just weigh in on this point. I mean, look, when we talk about the role of parental attentiveness, we know that, of course, children want and desire their parents' attention and will do any and almost everything to get it. So when children learn that parents give them more attention for positive behaviors, for instance, the negative ones, the negative behaviors then may diminish and vice versa. But we are not seeing this sort of culture perpetuating. As I was saying to Dumisile, the age of parents is getting much younger. It's actually girls that are actually becoming parents. They have no idea what involved parenting actually entails. They will just leave their kids with their grandparents or guardians.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what that hints to is it's not just about the parenting, but it's also about our programs with young women and young men to prevent unplanned pregnancies. So, if you're not ready to be a parent, it's very hard then to give the attention, the love, and the guidance that the child is actually going to need. So it's really important that we get this balanced approach, that we're addressing our young men and women to try and prevent these pregnancies. But then also when we know this has happened, once these young people enter at the clinics for their first checkups, how do we develop the right programs to link them to the support they need, the counseling and the guidance they need to actually take on the role that they're going to face?
Absolutely. Very quick one, Dumisile, maybe in closing as well. So let's briefly talk about the roles and responsibilities of parents to child.
So we can talk about a vast or an array of roles and responsibilities that parents have towards their children. But most importantly, we have to look at care and protection. We have to talk about parents, as we have said, that are emotionally and physically available for their children. I think the other critical aspect, and Megan has touched on this, is that parents have to have a relationship with their children, because it's only in that context that you will be able to know when things are not going right and do the right thing to support your child. You will know when they are not happy. You will know when they are struggling, even if they are not able to talk to you. Because, just talking about the basics, they've got food, they are able to go to school, that is not good enough. We also understand that our children are experiencing a lot of mental health challenges, even at a young age. We hear of 9-year-olds having difficult or being in difficult mental health spaces. So they need that strong and supportive relationship with their parents. I think that is extremely critical.
Mandosi, thank you so much. We're going to leave it there. Megan, unfortunately, I'm out of time. I mean, I was going to go on about this new debate that is currently making rounds in the country about whether strict or soft parenting is actually the way to go, because the style of parenting, I suppose, in this regard is quite important. Ladies, what a great conversation. Thank you so much for your input. That is Ms. Megan Briede, they of Save the Children South Africa, alongside the CEO of Childline South Africa, Dumisile, Cele, giving parents some pointers in active as well as attentive parenting.